Hey gang, what's good? We're back with Pillars of Eternity. We're about to head into the old Sanitarium. Does it have like a... No, it's just... Oh, Sanitarium. Okay, so like... This whole time I've been calling it a Sanatorium, which might be different.
I'm here.
Or maybe it's the same exact thing, it's just a different spelling. Or maybe I'm completely wrong with the spelling originally.
Yes?
Anyways, in the real world, a sanatorium, if you don't know, is... It was a big building that was meant to keep people who were sick for a long amount of time. Back before there was specific antibiotics, like tuberculosis. That was a big deal. You had sanatoriums with people who were just really sick with tuberculosis because there wasn't really much people could do about it, so they just kept them there and they had staff wait on them. It was kind of like an assisted living, like old folks home, except way more grim. I know assisted living places get a lot of bad raps, and probably for good reason, but nowadays I think they do a pretty good job of trying to keep that stuff on nice, at least the ones near me. But anyways, yeah, sanatoriums, there's some weird shit. It's a kind of vile place. You don't want to end up in one. But of course, I guess people don't really end up in one nowadays. I don't know. There wouldn't be a regular equivalent, would there? Oh, we have an addendum added to two-sided. Oh, right. Yeah. So this is where we find our expert for Aloth to help him with, Isilmir, right? Okay. Just a guard. What do you have to say? Sometimes we get people in here trying to make trouble for the Animancers. I could imagine. It's probably a lot of riots or protests or whatever. The table is set with an assortment of leaflets and booklets with titles like Practical Benefits of Animancy and Soul Adjustment for the Well-Adjusted Soul. Okay. People talking with a dwarven Animancer over here. Speak with Head Warden Ethel Mower if you wish to make an appointment with one of our Animancers. Animancy means progress and experimentation. Unfortunately, that makes some people uncomfortable. The Animancer straightens his robes and gives you a nod. What about nobles? The head warden of the Sanitarium is a statue? Quite remarkable. What? They say the worst of the patients are kept locked up below. Up below. Is that something that you say? When you say down below? I don't know. I guess I don't know. NASA Tech poetry. Do you want to read some poetry? Have we read this one before? The expedition. I move. There is no compulsion. It is not a need, but something pulls. I cannot deny its draw. The white wends out past my vision. Have we read this one? Yeah, we've read this one, haven't we? I wasn't sure if it was just another poem, but I think we'd read that one. This is a play. Okay. I think we have this one, in fact. But this one's just, free for the taking, I guess. Warden and Animancer from the Republics, Bancello, has requested a visit. Extend a formal invitation. See to it that the necessary preparations are made. How does the statue talk? Is it like telepathy? Head Warden Ethel Mower. What the hell? Dude. Maybe there's some fumes in here and we're all just tripping balls thinking that this guy's a statue. This man's soul was torn asunder by a beawick. Oh, this guy? As you can see, the patient is unresponsive. Common after soul trauma. The Animancer places a small stone upon the patient's forehead. Oh shit, is this some homeopathy shit? A portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We use this stone as a... Oh shit. Can you hear me, Oswin? Oswin! The patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Unfortunately, the extended disassociation has permanent side effects. The patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at his bonds. Dude, are we gonna need to psychonauts this guy? With further research, we're confident that we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. Oh, man. So it's like, I don't know, putting a stone on your forehead. It's like homeopathy, except proven results. The table is with an assortment of leaflets and booklets with titles like Practical Benefits of Animancy. Oh, right. Okay, what else have we got here? Saint Waidwin, Farmer Become God. Right. We know about Waidwin being like, supposedly the reincarnation of...
I'm here.
Aethys as a mortal.
Gods keep ye.
Audmer. A bald man with a crooked nose gestures in demonstration over the still body of a patient before a small gathering of interested onlookers. Feeling your gaze, he pauses his discussion. Have you come to sit in? What is it you do here? Close as we are to the Glanfathen Wilds, we get a number of Beawick maimings every year. Maimings? Is that what you call it? I guess it maims your soul. Okay. Survivors dealing with complications from exposure. This fellow here is a severe case. His essence is a mere whisper of what it was. I'm early in my research, only beginning to understand how they work. But in time, I hope to find a way to protect people from the storm's effects. Oh, I mean,
Welcome.
We need more words with you, my friend. Do you know anything about awakenings? I'm afraid that's not my area of expertise. Okay.
Greetings.
One more line of dialogue. I'd like to know more about the Sanitarium. He gives an eager nod. It's the mission that attracted me here. The treatment of the disturbed. No one else seems to care about them. Here. They've worked wonders for them. I've seen people cured of insatiable hungers and uncontrollable urges. I've seen the crippled walk and the dysphoric smile, all within these walls. The thought that the Duke could put an end to it with a single order keeps me up at nights. Huh, yeah.
I'm here.
I always find that fascinating in, like, fantasy games, in which, unlike, in the real world, like, things that are generally disregarded and seen by, like, skeptics, like, okay, I was thinking about this recently in, like, Elder Scrolls, because I've been playing Morrowind recently, and, in there, it seems like, I guess in a lot of fantasy, it seems insane to be, agnostic or atheist in, like, a fantasy setting where you can literally pray to a god and have something occur. Like, right on the spot. Like, it requires so little faith. Because obviously in the real world, that's why like, you refer to religion as, like, faith, because, part of it is believing on your own part. I don't know. Just the whole idea of that, like, is fascinating to me. I don't know. Animancy in the Modern Age, quite the read. Oh, this is like a short story. I thought it would be like nonfiction. I'm not sure. It seems like both. I don't know. Huh. Right, it's a bit much of a read. I don't know. Psalm to Woedica. Oh. We should probably read this, because Woedica seems like she could be a big antagonist. Ye exiles, ye broken... it's not Woedica, is it? It's Woedica. I need to remember that. I'm so bad at remembering these names. You'll have to forgive me. Ye exiles, ye broken, fear not the vengeance of the burned queen. She watches from her throne, ever vigilant. She hears the oath thou doth speak at her altar. She hears the oath thou doth speak in thine home. She hears the oath thou doth speak in the dark. For ye who would keep thy word, thou shalt escape the justice of her gaze. Beware, ye liars, ye unfaithful. Beware, ye with a hardened heart. Beware, for the eye of Woedica will not be blinded. She hears the sundered oath. She is not fooled by the winding path. She attends the broken promise. She sees the deceiver. There is no shadow too dark. Her gaze will find thee. Her justice will not be restrained. The fires of justice will never be quenched. The throne will crack. The law will burn. But the queen that was, always will be. Speak not in untruth, or thy tongue will be bound. Remember thy place. Remember thine oath. Remember thy queen. Dang, dude. Woodica seems like... I don't know. Memoirs of a Midwife. Okay. Background. So we could talk to this... I mean, heck, I guess. We're going to talk to a statue. Let's quick save in case this goes bad and I have to fight a statue. That probably won't happen, right? Head Warden Ethel Mower. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down unblinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. You know what? I say that this is weird, but I've just realized, dude, we have talked to a chair. There is a chair at Kainua that we talked to who is very much like this. What if they, know each other? Do you think they have, some sort of, they call each other on their cell phone or something? I don't know. Maybe they talk about, oh, have you seen that cute flower pot? Oh my god! He's so cute, he's got a Cruciferous in him. It has been some time... Sorry. Okay, sorry. It has been some time since a watcher grazed these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. Wow, so can other people, hear him, all the way across the room, rumbling the floor? I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? So immediately this dude knows that we are a watcher. Let's first help out Aloth. Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? There's an animancer on the lower floor. Ooh, we know what's down there, bad stuff. Who came all the way from Revua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belisage. I'm curious as to how you've come to be in your present state. Can we mention that we know a chair? Maybe they want to hook up. In the statue, you mean? Well, he laughs. I was old. It seemed wrong to me, a lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are to ever unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that, I'm quite sure. So what happens to this soul inside of this rock if the statue gets broken or as it erodes over time? Do they die? Or does the soul fragment into each little piece? I don't understand. To live on as part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animancers will humor me and consult over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. Okay, before we ask about the leaden key, let's ask about the sanitarium. A history lesson! This is a rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution as Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favored souls came to populate its streets in droves. Thus, the Sanitarium. Brackenbury was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money here back then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion and animancy, much like today. So much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time, it was forgotten, as all things are. Since we have been at the forefront of animancy's resurgence, we have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today, well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand. So it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace at this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke. Absurd as it sounds, if it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Deerwood. I fear Avar may be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. Oh, so that's the proceeding that was going on that we couldn't break into. I can't remember if they said, but if they said specifically who was in there. Maybe they did say that it was about animancy. But, man, so that's cool. Now we have more knowledge on what was going on in there. You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. Ooh, listen to that music. You can just barely hear it. It's very ominous. Good God. Ethel Mower groans, and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. And many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it? I don't like what they stand for. They are up to something, and I'm trying to determine what. They have something I need. I think this is the truest. Number 2. They're up to something, and I'm trying to determine what. They are always up to something. Of that, you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. This dude is pretty nice and chill, and I don't know, very, wise, I suppose, which you would expect for someone so old, or a soul so old. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I don't want to say that I suspect it's a patient yet until I have something more. Yeah, it would be unwise to consider anyone above suspicion. That's essentially what I just said. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Okay. It got updated. Right. Oh, that's for Aloth. And then The Man Who Waits. Ooh, that's a nice title. Is he the man who waits? Ethelmere? Mower? Right. Okay.
I'm here.
Let's see. Yeah. Sorry, I was just checking our level. Oh, gosh. No time for reading. I mean, I'll read dialogue as much as I can. I'm into that. But books, I don't know. I wonder why that is. That's someone who knows more about, I guess, psychology and game design. This painting of rolling, we've seen that actually, haven't we? There's a whole lot of paintings in here. This is just like a whole corner of paintings. Huh. Okay. Let's quick save before we go down here. What horrors await? Oh, God. I wonder if anything ever breaks out of the sanitarium. I don't know. Do you hear that? There's like some moaning. Modred? Oh man, listen to that creaky, creepy noise. Oh. We can just open this and take it? Ooh, it's got skull dudes on it. In a corner of Modred's lab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. Let's examine it. Nothing grabs your attention except for the large padlock on the front. Whatever this animancer keeps in here, he does not want anyone else to have or see. So are we gonna get in trouble if we open it? We just quick saved, let's open it. Okay. So we can't even pick the lock. A heavy lock holds the trunk shut. It's too sturdy to break and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. I'll need to find the key. Okay, well that seems very ominous. Is it perhaps here? No. What is this? Unexpected results. The canine host was listless and unresponsive, but it was determined that this was simply the implanted feline soul. Yarn resulted in vigorous stimulation. Wait, so someone put a cat inside of a dog? What the hell? What has science done? Has science gone too far? Alright, Modred. Ooh, God, that's so good in ambient. Sometimes I get in a mood where I'm just like, I don't know, I'm feeling a little Dexter. Like from the hit TV show Dexter. And I'll just listen to some like dark ambient music. I don't know. Oh, we've heard this music before. Like beneath the keep of Raedric's keep. But yeah, sometimes I'll just listen to that. I don't know. An animancer scribbles feverishly on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Hail, traveler.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. Let's ask about the awakenings first. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. I hear that Valian woman studies them. You should go talk to her instead. Has anything unusual been happening around here? You must be joking. This is the sanitarium. Nothing is usual down here. He pauses. Although, now that I think of it, the patients seem more agitated lately. But they're Caedmon Azzo's responsibility, not mine. Modred nods, taking a deep breath. Then, if there's nothing else, what are you working on? My area of focus is wicts, more specifically how to cure them. So we know what wicts are. They're the children, right? a hollowborn who received a transplanted animal during infancy, one of Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We Animancers were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. He stares at a fixed point on the far wall. And despite the controversy, it only went so far because, at first, it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. He takes a slow breath. The complications don't begin until puberty, but that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. But we paid dearly for our mistake, I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside often as not. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. That's fascinating. He does feel guilty, but he's like, yeah, we did the best we could. It was just a bad situation, which I agree. Just a bad situation for everyone. Why do you study wicts? He huffs. What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? His face has reddened, and he turns away from you for a moment. Was he affected? Maybe he wasn't originally an Animancer and he took up Animancy because someone close to him died, or was affected, I should say. He shakes his head. Animancy has an answer here. I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. I see. Alright, just looking around. Then be quick about it and don't touch anything. The Sanitarium has a lax visitor policy, but I don't. Without another word, he resumes his work. What is the update? Modred mentioned that the Sanitarium patients are more agitated than normal, and that Caedmon Azo is responsible for their care.
Yes?
Okay. Let's check in here. Quick save before each one of these doors. Oh, this is our person. Oh god, they have a big cage. This strange device seems to thum with power. Or thrum.
The Thum! Ah, the Greybeards. They've given you the power of the Thum, Dragonborn.
Belisage. Belisage? I don't know. A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself. So far, everyone down here has been mumbling to themselves, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Ikosi, here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? What is that? Ikosi? Is that like a swear or like Eureka? I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ak, that would be me. Oh, does she talk like Ixelmir? Like, is she gonna say Coxfeathered soon? Are these like weird words that Isilmir would know? Ak, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success into buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. Huh? Buttressing into soothing... Okay, I think I understand. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gillard! Who is it? Aloth's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. Your Darrens are so uptight. I don't even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax. But don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. His eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long, chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Audra lenses. To cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul.
How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed.
Khan peers at the device with interest.
It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmir more? I like that lady.
She raises a finger. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Sagani pats his arm. Oh, look, everyone's tuning in here for Aloth. I like this. Everyone's like here to talk and support him, sort of. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal. Something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Scythewood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through, nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisage I don't know how you pronounce her name. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything. But you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time with the Thanes family, but I always know when she is coming home. Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her heimnig to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. Oh, so his father was jealous that his mother was making more. He's like massively a traditionalist or something. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he's usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He's furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment, I'm sweeping the kitchen. The next, I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at the flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as far as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks, and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Medicho! Belisage furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly, I almost have it! Squeeze Aloth's hand. You're safe, everything's fine. Aloth, you've got to wake up. Slap him. This is just a memory, it isn't real. A lot of these involve physical contact, which might be pretty relevant. This is the only one that doesn't physically contact him. So I want to make contact with Aloth, because something crazy might happen. I'm gonna squeeze his hand. Aloth's... Oh, okay, nothing crazy happened. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. Gosh, I'm not gonna try and do Isilmir's voice, because she is... like, already, some of my party members' voices that I do, they aren't that great. I try, but Isilmir... I don't think I can do it, man. He's ne'er safe when I hap upon him. Belisage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it! I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that cripes down your gut when crisis is nigh. Belfetto, we have flares of totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now, try to get the two of them talking. Okay. Isilmir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Why, he's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling, only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist, quill still in hand. Go on. Okay. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Isilmir? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. He should ask what I did with that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I bricked it in 3 places. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Getting all tongue-tied. Shouldn't have drank coffee. It's got me on edge. And I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with you, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Ach, very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I've finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high-density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seems to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left rib cage. That's right about the spleen, which, of course, means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horse shit! Black bile, is it? They've certainly spat their share. Kana studies Aloth dubiously. It is a simpler explanation than I expected, all things considered. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? Isilmir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. That's true. You're close. I think Isilmir's appearance are related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. That's the most polite answer. Aloth's right. That's absurd. Isilmir obviously shows up when he feels threatened. If you're right, then removing Aloth's spleen should cure him. Oh, poor Aloth. No, we can't take out your spleen. We can't do that. As funny as that is, we can't do it. You're close. I think Isilmir's appearances are related. Yeah, okay. We're doing that one. Belisige carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well, good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisige frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Isilmir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. It seems that Isilmir steps in when she determines you're in danger. It's not clear whether this is a help or hindrance. I think number 2 is the best one, because I do think that Isilmir is trying to help. She's just, like, really brash and crass about doing it. And like, really, Aloth should be the one to make the decisions. So let's go with 2. If you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. He scowls, but you notice something thoughtful in his frown. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thanks for your help, Lyle. He does not look at Belisige. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been as useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of revoir. Fantra Aloth. Revoir Fantra Aloth. I'm sorry. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the rightwise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisige is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope. But Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this. Especially not after her nonsense. No, you get your explanation and she gets her research. That was the deal. I can't let you do that, not after hearing how much this means to her. Fair enough, but do it quietly. Leave me out of this. Okay. Do we want to steal from the person who helped us? Dude, I think we let Aloth get away with it. Fuck this person. Fuck you. I mean, thanks for the help, but also, come on. We gotta help out Aloth. We gotta look out for Aloth. I've done worse. Come on, Aloth, let's take it. Let's take that shit. Let's take it, Aloth. Fair enough, but do it quietly. He hides the papers in his cloak. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. Ooh, nice. Good job, Aloth and Isilmir. Aloth revealed that an awakened soul Isilmir dwelt... Yep. After hearing about how Isilmir stood up to Aloth's abusive father, I suggested that she may be more helpful than Aloth realizes. He acted skeptical, but I believe he's giving the matter some thought. Sure. A Curse of Cold Clay completed. Vivian Stygian returns to the stronghold with 2.6... Whoa! What? Oh gosh, look at this. It's a whole quest. I guess we'll read it. I don't know if these are important to read or not. All across the Eastern Reach, people are being buried in graveyards and returning from the dead. Yes. We remember this. This is the Vampires. So we sent a priest. Vivian Stygian traveled from Hangman's Abbey to the Bay of Crowns, investigating the various reports of vampire appearances. In each case, Vivian Stygian discovered that the grave sites had elaborate glass, copper, and Audra devices buried around them. The distinctive intricacy of the devices was traced to a Valian dwarf that had been shunned for his unpleasant practices in Salona and Anchises. When captured, the dwarf claimed his intent was not to create vampires, but to restore life. The vampires were created due to the dwarf's inability to solve a fundamental problem with his machinery. The incredible frequency of the dwarf's activity was not due to co-conspirators, but rather his extensive use of drugs that kept him awake and frantic for days on end. Once confronted, the dwarf put up no fight and allowed himself to be taken into custody. When Vivian Stygian left him, he was awaiting trial in Telenir. Cool, 1 average item. 3 uses, remembrance of life's warmth. So that's like 3 uses, period. It doesn't ever get restored? Okay. Yeah. Okay. She got experience for just herself, though, right? It wasn't for everyone. Okay. Finished in 15 hours. Okay, that's good. Alright, well, I like how that turned out. Let's see here. This strange device seems to... Right. We already read that one. Okay. Let's check out at least one more room here. The coffee's running right through me, baby! Sorry. Okay. Let's quick save before each person, just in case. Oh, look, we can pick this one scot-free.
Helps.
Oh, gosh. Knoxward patient record. Batixa, the Pale Lady. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as the soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillates between violence and severe depression resulting from guilt of past deeds. Weak candidate for present research. Ooh, that is awesome. That's really cool. Alright, what about this patient? Subject is male, approximately early 30s. Powers of speech absent, presumably as a result of the over-fragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and I have to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. Oh, shit. The Midnight Man. Subject is male, mid-20s. Displays acute disassociation and paranoid delusional tendencies, causing anger and extreme violence. Dangers of working with the subject preclude possibility of further use in present research. Okay. And Uskrim. Subject is a male, approximately 17 years of age. Admitted for episodes of catatonia followed by occasional violent outbursts. Initial analysis of soul revealed severe fragmentation and essence deficiency. Said deficiency all but eliminates the possibility of utilizing the subject in present research. Talk to Ethelmoer about Azo. Whoops. There we go. Caedmon Azo was absent from his office, and he's evidently been running some secret experiments. Oh, shit, so all this is under the table. I thought that they belonged to this dude. What about in here? What's this? Note from Azo. Ripley, I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requisition it from the Sanitarium's stores. I don't have the time to deal with the head warden's inevitable questions. From Azo. Okay, so yeah, this dude is doing some shady stuff. What are you doing, Ripley?
Hail and well met.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of the books in front of her. Row by row, her motions quick and skittish, like a bird's. She does not notice until you are nearly upon her. Oh my! You startled me! Are you supposed to be in here? This is our excuse. I'm looking for an expert. Me? I'm just Master Azo's assistant. But there's a visiting scholar from Ravua here named Belisige. She claims to know about them. If there's nothing else, I need to get back to work. What do you do here? I mostly help Master Azo and set up and clean his equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself.
I'm here.
Okay, we got time for one more room here. Did you see that? It looked like it was locked. Oh, okay, this one's empty. The edges of the cage are dented and scored with claw marks. Guards, will you even let me in here? I wouldn't mind being better armed. So what if it makes the clients a little nervous? Oh, so we need a proper key. Yep. Okay, so we'll just go back upstairs and talk to mower person, the mower man. Ethel mower? The statue. We'll talk to old Han Solo up here. Okay. Alright.
Gods keep you.
Have you learned anything of interest? I found records that Azo may be running some questionable experiments. Experiments? Caedmon Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Caedmon. I had hoped that he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter. And I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask, also, that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Yeah, that's fair.
Yes?
Alright. So then next time we'll head on into the patient ward, which is down here, and investigate Azo, who might put up a fight. Maybe he will just lie to us. Maybe he isn't even here. Maybe Azo is like out somewhere doing their experiments, because I would presume that Azo isn't doing the experiments here on site, where they could easily get caught, unless... Oh. The head warden says you can go in, be careful in there. Are there, like, enemies in here and stuff? But yeah, I presume people would see him doing these experiments, unless no one is allowed in here except for, like, Azo and his associates. Anyways, when next we come back, we'll head beyond this threshold. Peace!